this guy is going to tell the Uber driver to pull over, pull out a gun on them, and then point it at us, and then be like, give me the money. Alright, so as you can tell by the title of this video, I'm going to be talking about the time that I was almost murdered. So this could, oh, you're so sweet. Oh, why are you giving me kisses like this? Because you know the camera's on? Yeah. So this is when I went on my storytellers tour, and I think I mentioned this in my vlog of that time, how crazed I was. So I wasn't getting much sleep, and flights were kind of becoming a bit of an issue at the time. I just had like all this anxiety going on with airplanes and stuff, and I'd been traveling from city to city, and it was so fun except for the plane rides. But anyways, this specific situation occurred in Georgia. I think this was one of our last stops on the whole trip. I think I went from Georgia to Boston, and then was New York the last spot? I think it was like the third to last stop on my Storytellers tour. If you don't know what Storytellers is, go watch it. It's my web series. I put it out probably 2 years ago, and season 2 is in the writing process. Thank the Lord. So that'll be coming out hopefully this year. Again, fingers crossed. Okay, getting back on track to the story of when I was almost murdered. So, I had this screening at this movie theater. Everything was so wonderful, it was so sweet. A lot of you guys brought me gifts, which I loved, and I wanted to bring back to my hotel room to open them up and see what they all were, because people would give me gifts and then I put them to the side and like we'd take a picture, I'd sign stuff, and then it was like Christmas when I got back to my hotel. Well, we weren't staying at a hotel, we were staying at a bed and breakfast type place, so it wasn't like a hotel chain where you had like a key card. We had an actual physical key to our room, which was okay. It didn't really feel as safe as like if you go to a hotel, you know, like you're safe because you have like your own personal like key. I don't know. It was different. But anyways, I got a bunch of gifts from you guys, and we bundled them all up into like these trash bags that the venue had, because that was the only way I was gonna get them home. So I think I had like 2 giant trash bags full of your gifts, which sounds so bad. I'm like, oh yeah, your trashy gifts. No. Anyways, I called for an Uber after the event, and the Uber was gonna take us to back to our bed and breakfast. And so he was like so confused when I'm like pulling up with trash bags in over my back, and I'm like, oh, can I put this in your trunk? And he's like giving me like weird looks, and I'm like, oh yeah, we just have stuff. And so I put it in the trunk, and then I realized that I need to go to the bank and deposit some cash. And it had to be before I don't know why. I was like, oh, it has to be tonight. Like, I need to just go and deposit this cash, just because I was selling merch and I felt weird holding on to some of the cash. Oh my god. Buddy, you're so sweet. You're such a good boy. So I felt scared having that, like, having a lot of money on me. So it's like, I need to deposit this. And this was like I think it wrapped maybe around like 10 or 11 at night. So it was completely dark, and I was like, oh, can we stop at that bank? And he was like, oh, okay. So it was an ATM that was outside. It was me, my sister, and my best friend, Whitney. We were going on this tour by ourselves, and they were like my helpers to get stuff done. So it was just us, and my sister stays in the Uber while me and Whitney go out to deposit cash. So she has the money in her purse, and we get to the ATM, and I'm like, all right, we need to be kind of discreet about this because I don't want to be flashing dollar bills out to the public. There wasn't anyone there, it was just us. So she's like handing me like a few bills at a time, like 20s, 10s, and I'm like putting them into the machine, and I didn't realize that you could put like a stack of money, so I was like doing it one by one. So it was taking a while, and all of a sudden this like car pulls up, and I'm like, oh, it's fine. Like, it's just a car, they need to use the ATM, so it's like, let's just hurry up and get this done as quick as possible. But the car doesn't stay. It starts like circling us. So it goes around once, and I'm like, all right, well, I guess he's not coming here. And I put some more money in, and then the car comes around again. And I'm like, oh my God, this person, like, I don't know where we are. I don't know if this is like a sketchy part of town. So I'm like, all right, well, quick, like, let's just end this transaction. And then the car comes around for the third time, and he's like about to pull, or he, she, I don't know who they were. All I could see was their car, and it was scary. And my brain started going to like the worst case scenario. I was like, oh my God, they have guns. They're gonna come and kill us. They're gonna take the money. Quick, like, let's take this money and get into the freaking Uber. Like, I'll deposit it another time. So, like, in the nick of time, I end the transaction, we get the rest of the money in the bag, and we just bolt it to the Uber while they're getting out of the car. I didn't even look back. And Whitney's like screaming. She's like, come on, come on, come on, we have to go, they're coming, they're coming. And I'm like, Whitney, don't let them know that we know that they're coming for us. Whitney and I are very imaginative people, so sometimes our imagination gets the best of us. I don't know, maybe they were just sweet, innocent people that just needed to go to the bank, and then they got lost and they had to do circles. I don't know why they were circling us. I can only assume. But anyways, we're like all hyped up. We get in the Uber and we're like, go, 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 you need to go, quick. And the Uber guy is just like so confused. And my sister's like, did you deposit the money? Like, what's going on? And I was like, no, we didn't deposit it. We have to go, we just have to go. And so now the Uber knows that we have some cash on us. We have a bag full of random stuff. He doesn't even know what it is. And I'm like, oh gosh, like maybe my sister shouldn't have said, like, do you still have the money? Because now the Uber knows. And then the Uber drops us off at our bed and breakfast. I'm like, oh my God, the Uber knows that we have money. He knows where we're staying. These are not like secured rooms. Like, oh, he could come in. So that was in the back of my mind. So then we're going, we're walking into the bed and breakfast, and there's a guy at the desk, and he needed to see our key to make sure that we belong there. And Whitney, who had the key, flips open her purse, reveals like all this loose cash in her bag, and the guy just like looks at it, and she's like looking for her key, totally oblivious of the fact that this guy's looking into her bag with all this cash out. And so I'm like, my eyes go big, and I'm like, oh my God, another person that knows that we have like I think it was probably like $1,000 of cash just in his purse. So I'm like, oh no. So now he knows. So then we get into the room, and I'm freaking out. Like, my head's already gone to like crazy places. And so I'm like, Whitney, now that guy at the front desk knows where, that we have money. And she's like, well, if there's anyone that we should be afraid of, is the Uber driver. He knows that we have the money as well. And he could just like go up to the front desk guy with a gun and be like, where are the kids with the trash bags in their hands? And that like freaks me out even more. So I was like, oh my God, like I'm not gonna be able to sleep tonight. And my sister's just like totally not like us. She's like, guys, you're acting ridiculous. Like nothing's gonna happen. So me and Whitney don't believe my sister at all. We're like, no, we're gonna die. They're coming for us with guns and knives, and we're gonna die. Like, there's murderers after us. All right, boys, stop, stop, stop. I'm telling a story time. Whitney and I decide to set booby traps in our hotel room because we need to protect ourselves. So we're planning on like different attack moves of what we can do if the murderer comes into our hotel room and tries to get us. So we brought out some knives from the kitchen. I think we put like stuff on the ground to make a noise. If like someone broke into the room, they would like make a noise when they came in. We had all our bases covered. I was like planning on like hanging on something, and I was like, ooh, and I could kick him if I'm like hanging up here and like swing and knock him over. And we were so scared. I did not get much sleep that night. So thought I was gonna be murdered that night, ended up waking up, was not murdered, did not get broken into, but the story does not end there. Okay. So because I didn't even get enough sleep then, and I knew I was about to go on a plane, I was still freaking out. So we pack up, we go outside the bed and breakfast. I call another Uber, which is gonna take us to the airport to take us to Boston. There's this guy outside, already out there, and he's like this bald guy. He is like in a suit, he looks like, honestly, like when I saw him, he looked like he could be like a private investigator or I don't, like a hitman or something. So I'm like, oh my god, this guy's interesting. Like, why is he out here? And so the Uber pulls up and he goes in it. And I know that it's my Uber. So I'm like, oh, that's actually my Uber. I say it to him. And he's like, oh, huh. And he's like, are you guys going to the airport? And I was like, yeah. And he was like, oh, well, can we share? Because I'm going to the airport too. And me being the pushover and like the person who is so hard to say no to, I've gotten a lot better since that time, just saying. I was like, oh, yeah, that's fine. Because he kept like being like, oh, it's fine, like I'm just going to the airport too. And I was like, oh my god, like what? Like I don't know who this guy is. He's a stranger, but it's also like an Uber, so it's like, I think it should be fine. So I said yes, and then immediately regret my stupid mouth. And I'm like, why would I say that? Like, stupid, stupid, stupid. We get in the car, and my brain starts going into like, oh my god, wait. Someone, was it the Uber driver last night? Was it the guys that were following us? Or was it the desk who's hired a hitman to steal my money? And so I'm like, oh my god, this guy is going to tell the Uber driver to pull over, pull out a gun on them, and then point it at us, and then be like, give me the money. This is all going on in my head while we're driving to the airport, and I'm like trying to make friendly conversation with this scary hitman who's in the front seat of the car next to the Uber driver, like he sat in the front while the three of us are in the back. And the girls have no idea that I'm thinking this. They're a little weirded out the fact that I invited this stranger to come in the car with us. Okay, so I start texting them and I'm like, oh my god, this guy's a hitman, he's coming to kill us. And I text it to Whitney and my sister, and Whitney believes me, my sister doesn't, and she's like, oh my god, do you think? And I was like, yes, like, why else would he be in his car with us? And he was like saying how he was gonna like send me money through my phone. I forget how he said he was gonna pay me. But I was like, no, it's fine, like it's totally cool, Mr. Hitman, sir, like please just don't kill us, I'll pay for the taxi. And he didn't really have a big suitcase. Like all he had was like a briefcase. So that was another sign that I was like, this is no like normal man going to the airport. This is a hitman coming to kill me. So we're like driving and I'm just like freaking out. I'm just waiting for him to pull out his gun, and I just like keep leaning over to see like what he's doing. And then sometimes he'd be talking and like wrestling in his bag and stuff. And I was like, oh my god, it's about to happen, it's about to happen. And I was like, what, all right, so think, Joey, what are you gonna do? Like, how are we gonna get out of this? So I almost like was gonna have the cab or the Uber driver pull over and be like, oh, actually we wanna stop somewhere, and then get a new one. But then I was like, wait, no, that's like a perfect opportunity for him to like stop the car and pull out his gun that he has. And so finally we get closer to the airport. I'm like, all right, I feel a bit safer because I feel like if he tries anything right now, at least there's like airport security, there's probably police around here, so he probably won't be able to get far if he tries to shoot us. So finally we get to the terminal and I'm like, all right, we made it, we're alive, but is it over? I don't know. Because maybe he's gonna wait till I go to the bathroom and like corner me and be like, all right, I know you have the money, give it to me. So I let him go. I'm just like, no, we don't need money, we're in a rush, So we end up like just totally getting as fast away as we can from him. My sister thinks I'm crazy. Whitney believes me because she's kind of just like me. And we escaped from our murderer, our hitman, our murderer. We escaped from him, and that's my evil, desperate escaped story. So it was crazy. And then I got on a scary ass plane ride home to Boston, and it was terrifying. And that was a stressful ass time in Georgia. The time I almost got murdered. So my question to you guys is, how would you react in that situation? Would your brain go to where mine was, or am I just like a total crazy who was just needed to sleep and I don't know. I don't know. I'm still wondering if I was meant to be murdered that day. Well, I'm tired from just repeating this story. That was an experience to say the least. But I hope you guys enjoyed this story time. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. And I have plenty more stories to tell. So if this video gets 40,000 likes, I will tell my next crazy story. So until then, I love you all so much. See you next time. Good and bye. Okay. Oh my god, he's helping. Look at him. Oh my god. Oh my freaking gosh. The horn. Oh, I can see it. Oh my god, I'm so excited. I'm so freaking excited. Ow, I'm being attacked. I'm being killed. Oh my god, I died. With 2 freaking times, you're killing me. Get him, Cece. His name is Caleb99. You need to kill him and kill him quick.
I killed this guy. I just killed the guy.
Well, kill Caleb.